I transmigrated into an ABO story as the roommate who always slept soundly while the main character Omega was getting busy. Whenever the plot reached those lights-off moments, I'd instantly fall into a deep sleep. To avoid nodding off in public, I kept a close eye on the main character Omega under the pretext of OO mutual support, scared someone might target his neck. As the story ended and I was about to abandon the main character Omega to escape, he trapped me in the corner of the bed. Me. I don't do OO romance. Alpha-specific pheromones surged forth. The usually aloof main character Omega pressed closer, murmuring in my ear, "But I never said I was an O, young master." If I'd known I'd transmigrate into a book, I'd have gouged out the eyes that read "Sunset over the West." This random book I picked up out of boredom wasn't just a gateway to a new world. It literally dumped me into one. Thankfully, the system in my head helped me, a newbie who'd only read the first few chapters, avoid total panic. This is a fictional ABO world where everyone is divided into 3 types: Alpha, Beta, and Omega. The main character, Lin Shen, is a cold and resilient Omega. Despite being a poor student, he's hardworking and ambitious. After 10 years of grueling study, he finally made it to university, full of hope for a bright future. But he was dead wrong, big time. On the first day of school, he crossed paths with the story's main alpha, his twisted roommate, Lu Wenxi. Lu Wenxi is ruthless, a notorious playboy whose only hobby is sleeping with fragile, aloof Omegas. Naturally, Lin Shen caught his eye the moment he arrived. Lu Wenxi started with threats and seduction, then tormented him in every way, eventually devouring him completely. Once bored, he'd toss Lin Shen aside on the bed and move on to new conquests. Lin Shen struggled, tried to run, but it was futile. After being marked, he could only wait for Lu Wenxi's scraps of mercy. After over 800 age-restricted chapters, Lin Shen resigned to his fate. He ran away pregnant. When Lu Wenxi found out, his eyes turned bloodshot with rage. He chased Lin Shen to the ends of the earth in a dramatic "you run, I chase" saga of epic heartbreak. The system narrated the plot, its voice growing quieter. In the end, Lin Shen came to his senses, realizing Lu Wenxi's flings with others were just passing games. Only he was Lu Wenxi's true love, so he decided to give Lu Wenxi another chance, letting go of the past to focus on his pregnancy. From then on, the two lived a shamelessly happy life. Lost in thought, I was snapped back by the system. "Host, why aren't you saying anything?" I replied seriously. "I'm waiting." The system, puzzled. Waiting for what? Me, where's the one pregnancy, 8 treasures trope? Where's the big family ending? How could a key plot point like that be missing? System. After a long silence, the system said, "Host, you've read quite a few novels, haven't you?" After hearing the plot, I had one thought. If possible, I'd rip out Lu Wenxi's pheromone glands. To me, going into heat is basically a regression to beastly behavior. If someone can't even control themselves, aren't they no better than a wild animal? The system calmly noted, "But that's how the ABO world is designed. You can't remove everyone's pheromone glands." I sighed. "True." The system added, "And you can't do it anyway." Sensing something off, I asked cautiously, "Why not?" The system sighed, "Because host, you're just a side character." I wasn't too surprised. I was pretty average in my past life, so it made sense that dying wouldn't turn me into the center of this world. The system comforted me. "But host, though you're not the main character, you're still a wealthy young master." Hearing about money, my earlier indifference vanished as I asked eagerly, "So who did I transmigrate into?" The system paused. "The young master of the Qi family, Qi Xuan." The next second, my incredulous voice rang out, "The Omega who's always present during the main character's steamy scenes?" As a bottom-tier web novel, Sunset Over the West is impressively bad, unmatched in its terribleness. The plot is thin, the setup bizarre. Just the fact that alphas and omegas aren't in separate rooms is enough to leave you scratching your head. From what I know, during heats, if Lu Wenxi and Lin Shen are together, it's a guaranteed firestorm. Touch and it ignites, oblivious to the world. And they love their epic battles in the dorm. The main character's setup is already sloppy, but the side characters? Don't even get me started. Me, Qi Xuan, was a background character in life, and now I'm an NPC after death. As one of the main character Omega's roommates, my sole purpose is to be part of their play. Maybe the author thought a 2-person world lacked spice, but couldn't make it a threesome. so Qi Xiyuan became the perfect addition. Rain or shine, day or night, whenever Lin Shen was loved, I'd instantly fall asleep. In Sunset Over the West, aside from the first chapter orientation and the second first meeting, 99% of the content features scenes that'd make your jaw drop. After learning the dorm is a 4-person room, my sinking mood lifted slightly. Who's the other unlucky guy? The system pondered. The other one requested off-campus housing. Right now, it's just the 3 of you. Me. The system probed. Or maybe, host, you should request off-campus housing too? I yawned widely and shook my head, grinning fiercely. No way. I need to keep an eye on Lin Shen. Qi Xiyuan's parents are in business. Inheriting the family empire wouldn't be too hard. But without the main character's halo, even a towering fortune could collapse. Since the plot hasn't started, I'm not forced to sleep yet. But as the main character's sessions increase, my waking hours will shrink. Eventually, I'll lose consciousness, becoming a zombie-like cannon fodder. If I could control the plot, I could enjoy my millions in peace, free from the dread of when the next forced nap will hit. The key to all this is ensuring Lin Shen escapes Lu Wenqi's clutches and lives a chaste university life. With that, I steeled my resolve. System, while the plot hasn't started, I was calling the system when my vision went dark. My first thought, I've been forced to sleep. Cursing Lin Shen inwardly, the system's calm voice chimed in. The plot is about to begin. Please prepare, host. Me? What plot? Which part? Do I have a task? The system, as if choked, made some garbled noises without answering. I said anxiously, come on, give me a hint at least. The static faded, and the mechanical voice resumed. This mission is about to start. You've linked with the character, Lin Shen's roommate, Qi Xiyuan. Without violating core settings, please try to push the plot forward, enrich the story, and boost your presence. If your presence value drops too low, a punishment program will trigger. Below 0, the character will auto-delete. Welcome to Sunset Over the West, wishing you success in completing your mission. Enjoy. Young Master? Young Master? A voice and static buzzed in my ears. I frowned, opening my eyes. Green trees cast dappled shade, the sky clear and bright. I lay under a tree, opening my eyes to a pair of round dog eyes. Me. Can someone tell me what this dog on me is about? Young Master, you're awake. I turned toward the voice, seeing a human face this time. I hesitated. Before I could ask, the system chimed in. Host, he's Li Yuan, your bodyguard? I have a bodyguard, the system explained. Qi Xiyuan was kidnapped as a child, so his family's always worried about his safety. Li Yuan looked tough but spoke gently. Let me help you up. As I stood, my vision swam, and I stumbled into Li Yuan's arms. The dog barked frantically as I fell. Great, I'm a frail mess. I asked Li Yuan, do you know Lin Shen? A flicker of unease crossed his face. Yes. I brightened. Where is he? Li Yuan pursed his lips. He just got dragged back to the dorm by your other roommate. What? Dragged by the collar? Orientation and first meeting wrapped up that fast? Thousands of age-restricted chapters flashed through my mind. Shocked, I bolted toward the dorm, relying on memory. Li Yuan trailed behind. Young Master, avoid indecent sights. Too rushed to turn back, I waved. You're off early today. My frail body gave out after a few steps, leaving me panting. At the dorm door, the voices inside made my vision darken again. Like it? How's it feel? Speak up, huh? A weak voice replied, Lu Wenqi, this is the dorm. Don't. I stone-faced, listened to the crude remarks, then kicked the door open. Both inside froze, turning to me. Lu Wenqi reacted faster, yanking the blanket to cover the person beneath, then slowly stood, glaring with hostility. What's this? Lu Wenqi towered over me, at least a head taller. Sharp features, dark, piercing eyes with a predatory chill. His gaze swept over me like he'd devour me whole. I said calmly, let Lin Shen go. Lu Wenqi laughed like I'd said something hilarious. What did you say? I repeated, emotionless. Let Lin Shen go. The blanket was yanked off, revealing a long-haired girl. She pouted, whining at Lu Wenqi. Lin Shen? You have someone else? Lu Wenqi narrowed his eyes, annoyed. Yeah, can't handle it? Get out. She huffed, crawled out, glared at me, and stormed off. Me, Lu Wenqi lit a cigarette, irritated. Who's Lin Shen? Outwardly calm, I was internally panicking. Damn it, the person in Lu Wenqi's bed wasn't Lin Shen. Lu Wenqi exhaled smoke, a cruel smile curling his lips. His pupils narrowed, eyes gleaming with dangerous intent. I remember you, Qi Xiyuan of the Qi family. I had no clue how to handle this mess. Seeing my silence, he smirked, stepping closer. His expression darkened, sending a chill down my spine. I tried to bolt, but my legs gave out from the earlier run. Before I could escape, an arm hooked my waist, lifting me off the ground. "Where do you think you're going?" I was hoisted like a dumbbell, then thrown onto the bed. Lucky the bed was soft. Falling from his 6'2" height onto a hard surface would have flattened me into a pancake. Relieved, my heart leapt again as Lu Wenxi pressed a cigarette near my face. The glowing orange tip loomed larger in my vision. He smiled, but his eyes were cold. He looked at me like I was an object, asking again, "Who's Lin Shen?" Before the plot started, I knew Lu Wenxi was a lunatic, a natural playboy, blatantly coercive, vengeful, and cunning. His deeds in the story would have landed him in jail 800 times in real life. Like now, his aura was sharper and colder than a blade. I glanced at the flickering orange tip, mentally calling the system dozens of times in 5 seconds. Instinct told me if I didn't answer seriously, that cigarette would burn my face. But the damn system only said no interfering with key plot points and nothing else. With no help, I opened my mouth, resigned to bluffing. Lin Shen is me." A voice came from behind Lu Wenxi. He turned, lowering the cigarette from my face. In the dim light, a frail figure approached. Stopping, he repeated, "Lin Shen, it's me." I turned, locking eyes with his calm, dark gaze. "Congratulations, host. Unlocked key character, Lin Shen. Presence +1. Lin Shen had handsome features, a composed face. He wore a faded jacket, his lean frame upright. His deep black eyes, messy bangs damp with sweat, and pale face exuded quiet indifference. Lu Wenxi laughed. "So you're Lin Shen. Did you clean the bathroom like I asked?" Lin Shen's hoarse voice. "It's done." Lu Wenxi's gaze shifted between us. "You two know each other?" Lin Shen's soft voice. "On the first day, young Master Qi helped me with my student ID." "I did that?" The system chimed. "Host, he's covering for you." Facing Lu Wenxi's scrutiny, I mumbled, "I heard he was here, got worried, so I came to check." Lu Wenxi chuckled, easing his grip on me. "Didn't expect you to be so kind." I sat up about to relax when he asked suspiciously, "You seem pretty sure I'd bully him. Why?" If I hadn't read 98% of the unspeakable plot, I might not be so certain, but after millions of words of dorm literature, my heart's as hard as stone. I said flatly, "Sorry, I'm just narrow-minded. Didn't expect you weren't bullying him, just making him clean the bathroom. Truly magnanimous." Before I finished, Lu Wenxi grabbed my collar. "You tired of living?" A shrill system alert blared. "Warning! Warning! No conflicts with the main character." I'm frail but not helpless. Sneering, I gripped his wrist. "Young Master Lu, I'd advise against it. If you start, I might not lose." Lu Wenxi stared, then slowly released me. "Out of respect for your parents, I'll let this slide." I adjusted my collar, mocking, "Thanks for the mercy. May I go now?" Lu Wenxi's sharp features gleamed with a cold, mischievous glint. He suddenly grinned. "Sure." Ignoring him, I grabbed Lin Shen's wrist and left. Lu Wenxi watched us, his gaze burning like fire. Feeling it on my back, I paused but didn't turn. After leaving the dorm, I called to switch Lin Shen's room. I'd known Lu Wenxi was a creep, but after experiencing it, I thanked my past self for running like mad. Good thing I drew some heat. Otherwise, Lin Shen would have been in trouble. Glancing at him, I noticed his downcast eyes, lost in thought. Releasing his wrist, I asked, "Why'd you help me?" His lean frame, like a high schooler's, had an oddly mature calm in his eyes. He countered, "And you? Why'd you help me?" I was stumped. The system yelled excitedly, "Say you're here to protect him. Say it!" Me. I changed the subject stiffly. "How'd you piss him off?" Lin Shen stayed silent. I sighed. "Fine. You looked lonely and pitiful, so I thought I'd take you as my junior, okay?" Lin Shen suddenly asked, "Isn't the guy following you your junior?" I blinked. "Huh?" Following his gaze, I saw Li Yuan awkwardly waving. I shrugged. "Ignore him. Be my junior, and I'll protect you. No one will bully you." No response, so I leaned in, teasing. "Remember, once a creep targets you, you're done. That guy's no pushover." Lin Shen stared, making me uneasy, then dropped a bombshell. "You want to sleep with me?" I couldn't believe it. "What?" He repeated it. I blurted, "No way." Confirming my honesty, he swayed and leaned on my shoulder. A faint grape scent wafted, a pheromone. "Sorry, I think I have a fever. Can I lean on you a bit?" In the taxi, Lin Shen leaned on me, eyes closed, his body burned, heat seeping through his thin shirt. For some reason, his pheromone made me feel warm too. I sprayed him with suppressant, asking, "What's wrong?" He frowned. silent. At the hospital, he leaned against the wall, throat bobbing, looking unwell. Noticing, I told the staff, please register for an emergency ABO specialist. My foresight proved right. Soon, Lin Shen couldn't stand. After helping him into the exam room, I waited outside. I overheard differentiation and second time about to enter when my family called. Listening to their chatter, I said helplessly, Mom, stop having Liyuan watch me daily. I'm grown up. It's overkill. The door opened. Lin Shen, pale and tired, stepped out. Glancing at him, I added, plus I've got someone with me now. Don't worry. Hanging up, I asked, what'd the doctor say? He held up a paper. Just take some medicine. I exhaled, smiling. Good. Back at the dorm, Lin Shen froze, seeing his tidy bed. I smirked. Stunned, he shook his head, lying on his labeled bed. I poured water, checked his meds, and handed him the dose. After he drank, I stepped out to call. Returning, he was asleep. I sat by his bed, studying the story's main character. The system chimed, host, he's really handsome. The teen lay peacefully, skin almost translucent. His gentle breathing moved the blanket like fragile glass, stirring pity. Suddenly, he opened his eyes. I shouldn't have said that earlier. Sorry for scaring you. I flinched, mumbling, it's fine. Good we handled it fast. Those alphas' noses are sharper than dogs. They'd swarm at a whiff. Seeing his face, I added, be my junior, and I'll protect you. He chuckled hoarsely, but you're an Omega. I huffed, so what? Discriminating? I've trained Muay Thai since I was a kid. If you're embarrassed, let's do OO mutual support. Deal? He paused, about to speak, but I cut in. Don't refuse yet. Think it over, it benefits us both. He closed his eyes, resigned. I sighed, standing to leave. A hand grabbed my wrist. I agree. Don't go. His dark eyes held mine. Don't go. I laughed, patting his hand. I'm not. Just getting you a drink. Grape or lime? Lin Shen became my junior. Officially, he's my junior, but really, I'm his bodyguard. To shield him from other alphas, I ensured his safety. He hesitated at the bag of suppressants. This much, I said sternly. Of course, chastity's a man's best dowry, especially for a noble like you. One whiff of pheromone and those alpha predators will pounce like a pack of wolves. I leaned close, whispering, the consequences would be unbearable. Seeing his speechless look, I grinned, stuffing the bag into his arms. Other alphas are fine, but that Lu Wenxi... Realizing, I shut up. On the first day, I switched Lin Shen's room. Since then, aside from general classes, he rarely crossed paths with Lu Wenxi. Lin Shen sensed something, asking, what about Lu Wenxi? I loudly deflected, that Lu Wenxi bullied you on day one, despicable. Lin Shen paused, softly agreeing, yeah, really despicable. Time flew. It was sophomore year. All freshman year, Lu Wenxi didn't bother Lin Shen, but taunted me constantly. Bound by the system's authority, I couldn't clash directly, only occasionally mocking him into silence. Sometimes it backfired. In class, I got a voice message. Glancing at the sender, I ignored it. Then a text, Wincy, class rep, urgent, worried. I opened it. A second later, Lu Wenxi's cheesy voice blared, Yan Yan, seeing you lately gets me all excited. I want to claim you, mark you, cover you in my scent. I muted it, cursing under my breath, glaring at Lu Wenxi nearby. He grinned, winking and blowing a kiss. I flipped him off. His low laugh followed. That pervert enjoyed it. Glancing away, I noticed Lin Shen ahead. He stared at Lu Wenxi, expressionless, but his fist under the desk clenched tight. Young master, why'd you bring me here? Lin Shen looked puzzled. I said seriously, you're too thin. Without some self-defense, I worry you'll get beaten when I'm not around. Really, I feared Lu Wenxi. The coach, knowing me, greeted, oh, Chi, bringing a friend? I nodded. I'll spar with him. The coach offered help if needed, then left. I fitted Lin Shen with gear and taught him basics. Muay Thai focuses on punches, elbows, and kicks. Today, punches and elbows. I punched the bag, grinning. Cool, right? Lin Shen watched, murmuring, yeah, very cool. Surprisingly, Lin Shen excelled, quick with academics and fighting. Watching him, someone nudged me. What a coincidence. It was Songyeon, my basketball buddy. He slung an arm around me, offering water. Thirsty? Drink. I took it, chugging. He eyed Lin Shen. Your new junior? Handsome. My birthday's soon. Gift him to me? I glared. My birthday? Why gift you? He pondered. Or I'll gift myself to you. I laughed. Get lost. Following his gaze to Lin Shen, I straightened. Furious, I snapped. Lin Shen, that's not a hook. Why so much force? Your form's all wrong. Back from the gym, Lin Shen grew distant. He used to dote on me, getting food, water, always near. At the canteen, he'd serve me. Bored with it, he'd make amazing lunchboxes. Lately, he used gym excuses, ignoring me. He's mad, but I don't know why. So what? I'm mad too. In PE, I slammed a basketball into the hoop. Game over. Ignoring cheers, I slumped by the court, drinking. Song Yiran sat beside me. Fired up, Yan Yan. I smirked. Cut it. He grinned slyly. You've been grumpy, Lin Shen. I glared. Your business? He teased. Look who's over there. Under a tree, Lin Shen stood with a guy, whispering close. I shot up, alarms blaring. Song Yiran laughed. An alpha's confessing first. I stood, tossing my bottle at him, leaving. His voice trailed. Sunday, come out, planned your birthday party. I waved impatiently. Later. Passing by, Lin Shen glanced, not greeting me. Unfazed, I slung an arm around him. What's this, hitting on my little Lin? The guy blushed, stammering. No, Lin Shen cut in. Class is ending. I waited. Huh? He pulled my wrist. Let's go. I nodded at the stunned guy, dragged off by Lin Shen. They're hiding something. I pressed. Why were you together? Like him? He's alpha? Dating him? Lin Shen stopped, whispering, want me to date him? I said firmly, no. Why? You're my junior. How dare you find someone before me? That's treason. He stared, sighing. Got it, young master. Satisfied, I added, Sunday's my birthday. Join me? In a private room, I scowled at the chaotic dancing. Song Yiran DJ'd, owning the space. Buff alphas twisted to the beat, men and women screaming over dance music. I snapped, grabbing his collar. What's this? He winked. Big Abo mixer. You don't want a mate, but I do. I couldn't believe it. A mixer at my birthday? He shrugged. Had to. Your charm draws ABOs. Used your name to get them here. After a few drinks, everyone loosened up. Cheers rose as alphas stripped, flexing. Screams deafened. I glanced at Lin Shen, quietly drinking on a sofa corner. He seemed off, downing glass after glass. Song Yiran teased, scoping around like a henpecked husband. Someone slung an arm around me, a strange cologne hitting me. He grinned. Henpecked? Drunk. I stared. Narrow, mocking eyes with a sick glint. Recognizing Lu Wenxi, I wanted to vomit. This pervert again? I pushed. He guided my hand to his chest. Me? I'd chop it off. He winked. Happy birthday, Yan Yan. Crash! A wine glass shattered by him, red staining the carpet. Let go. Music stopped. All eyes turned. Lin Shen stood in shadow, eyes icy, face stern. Lin Shen gave me the cold shoulder again, this time because I stopped his reckless plan to fight Lu Wenxi at my party. Please, even with training, Lin Shen can't beat the top-tier Alpha Lu Wenxi, a machine-like force. An Omega challenging an Alpha? That's a lamb to the slaughter. If that pervert fell for Lin Shen, my efforts would be wasted. Watching him leave silently, I hesitated but didn't explain. Post-party, Lu Wenxi haunted me like a debt collector. In my sensitive phase, I felt off. Lin Shen vanished after class. I made excuses to dodge Lu Wenxi. But night walks invite trouble. Ignoring his third message, he cornered me at the dorm. Seeing the door behind him, I planned to flee, but he locked it with a click. Me? He stared. Most Omegas throw themselves at me. You're different. I said coldly, because you're annoying, gross, and cheesy. He choked, then smirked. You're playing hard to get. I laughed. You deserve that? His face darkened. He murmured, I'd go easy, but you're forcing me. Alpha pheromones exploded from him, a smoky assault. I choked, coughing. He used this to break me. Coughing, I sneered. Can't argue, so you force it. Disgusting. He purred. Too late, baby. Thought you knew since day one. Smoke thickened. His eyes grew obsessive. I fought nausea, grabbing my suppressant. He watched, amused, not stopping. As I aimed, I froze. You swapped my suppressant? He laughed. To mark my Yan Yan, I prepared well. It turns A to O, heightens O's heat. If you're weak, I'll serve you. I struggled to stay lucid, but vision blurred. Consciousness faded, feet light as air. As I closed my eyes, a crude hand caressed my face. Let me mark you forever, okay? Dazed, I almost agreed. Then he groaned. I couldn't open my eyes, hearing fists on flesh fading in and out. Later, familiar arms trembled, holding me. The grape scent calmed me. I blacked out. I woke in the hospital a day later, surrounded by tearful faces. Even the dog cried. Me, am I in heaven? The system, unemotional, cheered. Host, you're awake. Lin Shen beat Lu Wenxi bad, lost a tooth. Satisfying. I scanned, spotting Lin Shen in a corner, dark-eyed from no sleep. Before greeting him, my mom hugged me. Yan Yan, I failed you, letting you suffer. I patted her, smiling. I'm fine, Mom. Dad said sternly, we'll get the best lawyer. Sue that brat. I smiled, shaking my head. Lu Wenxi's case could be big or small. Our top lawyer would meet their counter. Dad read me. If not, we'll send you abroad. Relatives chimed in, yes, ABO laws are stricter there, you'd be safer. Graduation's near, do a master's, see the world. Your grades can get you into a good school. Mom teared up. Yan Yan, please, let's go abroad. Ignoring the system's side characters can't leave the plot, I nodded. Okay. Lin Shen spoke. That suppressant? Still got it? I froze. In my bag. The first trial dismissed Lu Wenxi's assault charge. I appealed. The retrial's in a month. Lin Shen's been unwell, taking days off. At break, Lu Wenxi limped over, grinning. Heard you're going abroad? I typed, not looking up. Your business? He chuckled. It is. Wherever you go, I'll follow. I glared. Want to die? He laughed. Not die, just on a bed with you, your pheromones sweeter than his grape. I jolted. He feigned shock. Lin Shen didn't tell you? He's my half-brother, tight-lipped. I stammered. Explain. He cackled. Just learned. Lin Shen's my dad's bastard, begging since childhood. He inhaled deeply. Think he'll let you win the retrial? Recalling evidence Lin Shen took, I sank. The bell rang. He left with a knowing look. I muttered, bastard. A month later, the courtroom was tense. The judge, in black robes, presided sharply. My lawyer presented. The judge asked, plaintiff, still have the swap suppressant? I nodded, signaling my lawyer. The judge, defendant, respond. Lu Wenxi's lawyer countered fiercely. Debate dragged on. In his final statement, Lu Wenxi said sadly, I only cared for a friend, didn't expect this. The suppressant? I knew nothing. He played the victim well. My parents fumed. My lawyer, Your Honor, plaintiff's final statement. I stood calm. A month ago, he trapped me at the dorm. He revealed Lu Wenxi and his father ran an illegal suppressant ring. The gallery buzzed. This drug forced gender shifts tied to illegal trade and harm, hot news for years. Lu Wenxi's lawyer, one-sided claims, no proof. My lawyer raised a USB, evidence from victims over 10 years, approved. It showed tearful testimonies of the Lu family's crimes. The gallery was moved. My lawyer, given the severity, we suspect major crimes. We request emergency arrest. The judge nodded. Lu Wenxi leapt up. Impossible. Spotting Lin Shen, he snarled. You. Dragged off, he yelled. Lin Shen, you scum. What'd my dad do? You'll die horribly. The judge ruled. Whispers filled the room. Lin Shen sat, ignoring it, meeting my eyes. I smiled, winking. The celebration ended. Lin Shen gave statements. Song Yuran dragged me to a bar. Seeing the crowd, I was speechless. He slung an arm around me. Look, my empire for you. I frowned. Another party? He grinned. Nonsense. They're celebrating your win. Lowering his voice and partying. I kicked him. Get lost. He laughed, flitting off. I found a corner, sipping and chatting with the system. System, I committed a grave sin, jailing the main character. Will I die? System, only now you ask? I laughed. If not, is the plot done? System, yes, it's over. No more sudden sleeps. I drank. Great. Lin Shen called. Rubbing his name, I answered. Hello? His voice. I'm almost done. Pick you up? I eyed my glass, the clock. No need. I'll head back. He sighed. Okay, rest early. Before hanging, a sharp alcohol scent hit, blinding me. Someone cursed, damn, which alpha's here without suppressant? Screams erupted. Alpha pheromones battered me, bones aching. I fumbled for my suppressant, injecting. Exhausted, I collapsed on the sofa. Song Yuran's worried voice. Yan Yan, you okay? I shook my head, pain tears forming. Unconscious, people crave safety. I mumbled like a child. I want grape. What? Walnuts? He blushed. Mine's walnut, but I'm not easy. I'd kick him, but I was limp. A minute later, he resolved. For brotherhood, I'll risk it. I'll mark you temporarily. Me. Last thought before blacking out. I'll rip Song Yuran's glands, grind them to dust. Waking, I thought, damn Song Yuran, watch him in sleep. Suppressing a headache, I tried sitting. Clink. Silver chains yanked me down. Me. White walls, light curtains, Lin Shen's room. I turned. My wrists were bound by a thin silver chain with a soft leather cuff. Awake? Lin Shen calmly offered water to my lips. Drink. You slept all day. First time fed since memory began. I struggled, water spilling down my chin. Annoyed. Feeding me like a dog? He shook his head, sitting beside me. Yesterday I found you in Song Yuran's arms. I tensed, touching my neck. He marked me? Lin Shen toyed with the chain, pausing. No, but he said you cried, begging for his mark. Impossible. I saw you crying, touching his gland. I croaked. I can explain. His breath shifted. I froze. He was calm, but his eyes churned. I shrank. I don't do OO. He chuckled. Alpha pheromones, far stronger, surged. The usually reserved Lin Shen leaned in, but I never said I was an O, young master. More shocking than Lin Shen being an alpha was his clumsy, ruleless kiss. I stiffened, feeling like braised pork. Letting him vent seemed fine, but he got bolder, tugging my clothes. Wait, Lin Shen? What are you doing? Bound, I squirmed, furious. Lin Shen, you ungrateful wretch. I protected you so long, and this is how you repay me? Who saved you from the dorm on day 1? Took you to the hospital? Gave you peace? You dare touch me? You're no better than Lu Wenxi. He froze. I raged. Keep going, and I'll hate you forever. Hide forever. Unlock me. His face paled, hands dropping. The chain fell away. I flipped, pinning him, smirking as I tugged his pants. Grown wings, huh? Forgot who's boss. Sudden sleepiness hit. I yanked his pants up. He looked startled. I screamed internally, system! Plot's over. Why this sleepiness? System. Host. Plot's done, but settings stay. Main character's pants down triggers sleep, just not full blackout. I trembled. What do you mean? Explain. Stunned, the system said, oops, and logged off. Young master, don't fear. Grape scent enveloped me. Lin Shen smiled, cheek against mine. His clinginess was maddening. I swatted his hand. Are you a dog? Can I? No. Get lost. Shut up. Post-finals, we had a wild break, partying past midnight, sleeping till noon. We visited art exhibits, cooked, tried new recipes. Sunny days, we traveled. Rainy, we watched movies. Soon, senior year. While debating grad school or abroad, Lin Shen proposed. Flowers, balloons, a rented luxury car, a diamond ring. I felt ambushed. You borrow from sharks, overreaching, brain kicked? He shook his head. Cars rented. I sighed. Thought I'd pay your debts. He frowned. Even if I borrowed, I wouldn't let you. I stifled a laugh. Fine. Proposing? I agree. He said, don't rush. I booked a candlelit dinner, more romantic. I hugged him, kissing. Cancel it. I'd rather hit a snack joint. Fancy rituals don't matter. I love him. He loves me. That's key. Post-dinner, we strolled the beach. The sunset dyed the sea orange-red. Wind lifted Lin Shen's bangs, revealing his gentle face. He gazed at me. Since you, I've dreamed, like reality but without you. I gaped. His face was sincere. You changed my life. Golden light bathed the world. He met my eyes. In my life, you're the only solution. Birds dotted the sky, leaves rustled, waves glittered. I'll love you. His voice was soft but firm. Congratulations, mission nearing end, curtain falling, not an end, but a new start. Wishing you a new chapter, looking forward to meeting again. We kissed as the system announced.